We are live.
Are we live? Are we going to do it? Can you see me? Can you guys see me? Okay, so I have been gone for, oh man. I haven't been on in 3 weeks or so on a live stream, maybe 4 weeks. I've been out of town. I've been traveling. I did the Nuno Betancourt camp in Las Vegas, and I went right from there to do some interviews in LA, and then I went to NAMM in Anaheim, and then I came back to LA, and then I came home, and I put out a video the other day. And it was a video on modes, kind of an old school video. There was a bunch of questions on it, and I thought I would address some of those questions. By the way, we have a sale ending tonight. You can go to rickbeato.com. All 7 of my courses are on sale. You can find the sale there. It's got all the stuff that we're talking about in here. In my Beato book interactive, it's got all the theory. Ear training, it's got the stuff for you to hear what these sounds are when we talk about modes, be able to hear them, chord progressions, notes, soloing, things like that. And then there's many other courses too that are available. My Quick Lessons Pro, my Arpeggio Masterclass, my Scale Matrix course. So you get all 7 of these courses. Go to rickbeato.com. Okay. Now, one of the things that I think is confusing about modes, though I had this little piece in there that if you listened far enough, you would hear it as a string piece. What I did was I changed the scales, changed modes, and another easy way to do it, because if you take modes all in one key, let's say we're in the key of C major, right? And I play. That would be C Aeolian. Then if I start on D, that's D Dorian. But it's all the same notes, so it's hard to really get a feel for what a mode sounds like unless you do something like this. When I write them out, the formulas, I do them all from the same note. So if the major scale is this note sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Then the Dorian mode, if you take that same scale and flat the third, right? And flat the 7. That would be C Dorian, okay? So this is really how this formula works. It's like, what do you do to a major scale to get this particular mode? The Lydian mode has a sharp 4, so I raise the fourth note of the scale a half step. That's a sharp 4. Here's a natural 4. Here's Lydian. Okay. So one of the concepts when I was soloing or talking about playing at the end was, how do you actually get the sound? What gives you the sound of these modes? I was listening to this Jeff Beck song yesterday, and he plays this great lick that's a perfect Dorian lick. I'll do it in D Dorian, okay? So we're going to use the notes of C major, but this is going to be with a D. I'll play a D minor chord, and he plays this. He doesn't actually do that descending lick that I just did, but this first part here is a perfect description. That note there, that's the 6th, the natural 6th. That is what gives Dorian its sound. That and the flat third, because the flat third is right here. So if I'm in D Dorian, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, natural 6, flat 7. So he plays. There's a minor third, the flat third, so you know it's minor. Right? Then he goes to that note B. That note B, that 6th is beautiful. Listen. That when it hits that note, it resolves it up to the flat 7. 2, flat 3, 4, 5, natural 6. That's like a great way to describe a Dorian sound. So I'm using this Dorian mode, but I'm really focusing on a couple of the notes in the scale. So anytime you want to describe a mode, the most important notes in the scale are really where the half steps are in the mode. So here, between the second and flat third, and between the sixth and the flat 7, those particular notes are, to me, really give the sound of the chord, right? So if I'm playing a scale up here, something in, like here, flat, that's a second to the flat third, and then the natural 6 to flat 7. You can do some really cool ideas. That'd be a 5-note pattern. I'm always looking for the notes, those half steps in any of the modes. I'm really trying to use those to create my linear things that I'm doing, the licks that I'm improvising with. I could play in the scale, maybe something like so I played E minor. This is at 6. That note. So that's Dorian. I'm describing that chord. Let's say we take a mode like Lydian. So if I look at Lydian, I'm going to once again look at these things. The sharp 4 and 5, there's a half step. And then really between 7 and back to 1, there's a half step. So Lydian scale, let's say I do C Lydian, okay? C Lydian.
People are wondering if this is live.
What do you mean? Why?
It looks too good.
Oh, the reason it looks good is because we're using the nice camera. Does it actually look good, Tom?
I think it looks good, yeah.
Nice. So Tom's actually running the camera. Normally, when I do my live streams, I sit over there where Tom's sitting, and I just run it myself. But Tom came in today, and because I want to use the whiteboard, and I can't really film the stream myself and do it. So Tom's going to field any questions and everything. It looks too good. That's pretty funny, Tom. Okay, so C Lydian, that sharp 4 in the scale is really kind of an important note for C Lydian. I'll play like let me do it like a C major, C sus chord or something. So here's the scale. That's the note right there. I'm resolving that F sharp up, the sharp 4. I love that. So once again, the root and the 7, the half step, or if I have it there. Seven to root. That sound. You hear Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, they will use these Lydian sounds like that in their compositions. They will find those notes. Alan Holdsworth, Larry Carlton, Pat Metheny, Eric Johnson. They will use these modal sounds to create these really cool lines there. So the difference between modal harmony or progressions and things like that and just regular tonality. If you're in a major key, basically that implies that you have a series of chords that kind of revolve around the tonic. 1, 4, 5, 1. So if I'm in the key of C, the 1 chord is C major, 2 chord D minor, 3 chord E minor, 4 chords F major, 5 chords G major, 6 chords A minor, 7 chord is B diminished. Yeah. So I'm doing 4, 5, 1. Or it could be 2, 5. So I'm just playing some simple chord progressions. I could go 6 if I'm here. I did a 6, 4, 5, 1. 6, 4, 5. Okay, so that's what I'd call tonal harmony. But modal harmony is a little different. You don't have those progressions that necessarily resolve to one another in a fifth related fifth related chord progressions like that. Every chord has its own function in this. So modal harmony is a little bit different here, and you have a chance to kind of describe the sounds a little bit differently, and I think to me it's really a beautiful thing. So let's say I take the Aeolian mode. Okay, that's another beautiful one. Natural minor, some people call it, right? So the Aeolian mode, that's another one. That's the 6th mode. So I look for the half steps there between the 2 and the flat 3, and between the 5 and the flat 6. Okay, so let's say that I play D Aeolian. Okay, I'll just do it in D. So I'm using that the 5 to flat 6. love that flat 6. So once again, I'm building my soloing licks, whatever. I'm improvising and targeting those notes. I do call them target notes. I have 5 and the flat 6 and the 2 and the flat 3. Once again, the important notes in describing the mode, if it's a minor mode like this D Dorian, you still have a D minor chord. D Dorian is D minor. Those are the notes of D minor. Could be. You could use a pentatonic, but you want to make use of those. You want to use that flat 6. And there's that third, second to flat 3rd. That's Aeolian. That's the Aeolian mode right there. That's an Aeolian sound. Okay, so if you have long vamps on one chord, you can describe that chord. If you're just playing over a D minor chord, you can play D Aeolian or you can play D Dorian. Either one will work. They just have different flavors to them. But knowing what notes to target, like when I hear that Jeff Beck thing, when he's playing, he plays actually in E minor. So he's playing this. He actually goes to G minor then, I think.
We got a question here.
Yes.
Which of the courses have more material like this, and are they included in the deal?
Well, all my courses are in this deal. The courses that have these modal ideas like this that describe it, the Beato book interactive, which is my 500-page PDF. It's a video course, though. It's got tons of lectures in it, like I'm doing here, where I talk about modes. I talk about all different kind of theory. Hundreds of audio examples in that. Also my Beato ear training, because that has a whole chapter on modes. How you hear the modes, how do you recognize when you're hearing Lydian or altered dominant or melodic minor or Dorian flat 2 or, you know, Dorian sharp 4, whatever. It's like, how do you hear them? What are the sounds? And then my Quick Lessons Pro, that has a bunch of modal examples in it. More licks like I'm playing here, because that's more of like an intermediate course. And then, of course, the my scale matrix has all the fingerings on the guitar, right? So that will actually have all the modal fingerings in it. So if you're playing D Dorian, it'll show you D Dorian everywhere on the neck. So when I'm playing over any of these modes, I literally know where they are. I know where all the notes are all over the fingerboard. How's that, Tom?
That's great.
Yeah, so I would say, so those, I'm trying to think of that. Quick Lessons Pro, Beato Book Interactive, my ear training course, and the Scale Matrix, definitely. I'm trying to think of, yeah, those courses definitely I have tons of mode information in them. So there are also modes that... so these are modes of the major scale. every what we call parent scale has a series of modes that go with them. For those of you that are soloing over rock music or things like that, or you're pretty much going to stick to the major modes. But you might do things like the alter dominant mode or something like that. That's from the melodic minor scale. So the other parent modes, I'm going to show you these here. Tom, how am I doing, Tom?
Doing well.
There's a bunch of scales that modes are derived from. I would say that the three most common ones are the modes of the major scale, which we just had right there. Then the modes of the melodic minor. The modes of the harmonic minor. I'll just put harm minor. You also have the modes of the harmonic major scale. This is way more esoteric. This is more like Alan Holdsworth stuff. Then you have the modes of the double harmonic major scale. But these three are the most common. These are the ones that you're really going to use. If I am playing over, let's say, E7 sharp 9, that's like the Jimi Hendrix chord, right? So if I play that on the keyboard, you could play this scale, E minor pentatonic or the blues. But you could also play the altered dominant scale, 7th mode, or the Superlocrian. That's the altered dominant scale. That's known as the altered dominant scale, or the Superlocrian mode, or the diminished whole tone scale. It has 3 different names. Most people honestly call it Superlocrian. That's the 7th mode of the melodic minor scale. Okay, so that is a mode that you can really use on these 7 sharp 9 chords. So you find in blues tunes and stuff. It sounds kind of fancy. It sounds a little bit more like jazz fusion. John McLaughlin, you'd hear use that. Al Di Meola would use that, or Guthrie Govan would use that, or Larry Carlton. Fusion players would use that. Alan Holdsworth, Pat Metheny, they use the alter dominant scale. It's a great sound, and you have to learn those melodic minor modes all over the fingerboard too, which you can get from my Scale Matrix course. So, they have any more questions here, Tom?
I got one from a guy. He's asking, is using Songsters, or I guess tabs, for learning songs on bass bad, or should he try doing it with his ears?
Well, if you need the tabs, use the tabs. I have tabs in all my courses. I have notation, honestly. I have both notation and tabs. And I learned with notation, but no, I learned by ear first. I did. I learned by ear. All this stuff I'm playing here, I learned, not all of it I learned, but I learned a lot of this stuff by ear, and then I learned the names of it. And I was very happy when I learned the names of it. Like the altered dominant scale, I keep calling it that. That's why I learned it in college. The Superlocrian mode, the 7th mode of the melodic minor. When I learned it from my high school guitar teacher, Glenn, he called it the diminished whole tone scale. He's actually the only, this is like a Rochester thing. Only in Rochester they call it the diminished whole tone scale. I think because everybody took lessons with this guy, Dick Longale. I didn't take lessons with him. He was an old school guy that taught all the great guitar players in Rochester. When I got to college, my teacher, Steve, called it the altered dominant scale. But then everywhere else, Everyone calls it Superlocrian as one word, Superlocrian, the 7th mode of the melodic minor scale. So these are things that I learned first by ear, and then I learned what to call them. So, and then you kind of have this language that you use to, I call it the altered scale because it's got a sharp 4, sharp 5, flat 9, and sharp 9. It has all the altered notes along with the root, the natural third, and the flat 7. So that's how that mode gets its, or that's how that particular mode gets that altered scale. That's why they call it that, because it has all those. It has both altered ninths and both altered fifths. The flat 5, sharp 5, or sharp 4, and flat 5 are the same notes. So that, there you go.
And then we got another one. Can you make the Phrygian mode sound good?
Can you make the Phrygian mode sound good? You can absolutely make the Phrygian mode sound good, but you have to have like a Phrygian chord. Phrygian has that flat 2. So if I have a chord, let's say I play a this chord here. That would be like a Phrygian chord. It's like B flat with an A in the bass. That's that flat 2. That it's, you know, what's really cool actually is if you played that chord, that scale, if I played like an A dominant 7 sus4, most people don't use it like this. To me it's really interesting to play it like this. So I have this chord like and I put the natural third there. Love that sound. Phrygian works. I was kind of mixing at Phrygian, then I was going to Phrygian major, which is a mode from the harmonic minor scale. So all this stuff you can find. Go to my website, rickbeato.com. You can find out about modes in a far more detailed way than in this video, although I thought there was pretty good descriptions of them right here. Check out the last video that I did too, that where I had this modal piece that's a string thing that describes every mode in there. I have a little typo in that one. I said on A flat Lydian that's from D flat major. There's a typo. It should be E flat major. It's from. It's the only thing. It's just in one little spot on the screen for a second. But the formula of the scale is correct in that. Anyway, so that's it. Leave questions in the comments. Hit subscribe. Thank you for watching.